managers, character accountants, senior doctors, police officers, IT professionals, management professionals from top business schools and other across three continents. He has trained over 10,000 CAs in India, Dubai, and Europe. His passion towards to help entrepreneurs inspired to him to bring essentials to India. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We are honored by your presence on this cracking interview course. Thank you for giving such a great opportunity for introducing a resource person. Our Dean Deepakalakshmi ma'am and our HOD Francis Xavier Devara sir and our class coordinators Mr. B. Pichamantan sir, Muthume sir, Murugubhupati sir, Dilipan sir and Dhanashekaran sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah. So can I go ahead or how's it?
Yes, sir. Sir, wait. Sir is there.
Sriram, good morning.
Sir.
I'm Francis here, currently heading the department here. Thank you for coming. We spoke to your good friend, Chelatamilan, Dr. Chelatamilan. He has referred you. And it's very nice to have you amongst us. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francis.
Please, sir, you may proceed. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. Some other participants can be on mute. Is it possible?
Students, I request all of you to be in mute. Students or any participant for that matters.
So I hope you're able to see the presentation right now. If any one of you can respond, it would be great.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So before I go into the presentation, my name is JVC Sriram. Thanks so much for the introduction. I'm an alumni of Alumni College of Engineering. That was the way it used to be called before. I think now it's called as CARE, Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education. So it's a pleasure to be here amongst the students. So let me come directly to the thing, because what I'm going to speak about probably, I will divide this session into two parts. One is that I will give you certain tips in terms of interview, and that's going to be the agenda number one. Maybe I'll do it for an hour or so. And as we are doing the interview part of it, I would request you to note down any questions that you have, specific questions you have, and you can ask those questions during between 11:30 and 12. And if you have specific questions related to interviews, group discussions, how do we go about and all those stuff. So that's how it's going to happen. I suppose I have a few questions to ask. So if one of you, Mr. Piche Manikam, if you can just unmute yourself, it will be easier for us. 1 second. Is it that we have only students from computer science and engineering here, or do we have people from other departments also?
Sir, only from CSE, sir. Our from CSE only, sir.
Only from CSE?
Yes.
Yeah, third year and fourth
Third year and final.
Predominantly final year. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much. So, at the outset, let me begin by, because why I chose this particular topic is because I think it's very critical and important to understand how this whole process is going to work out. Because I'm also going to add a few things in terms of the sectors, which are the sectors which are going to do well, which are the sectors where you might find it different, considering the fact that we are amidst a pandemonium time created by COVID-19. It is going to affect the employment, but from whatever news which we are getting as far as the world is concerned, it is that the new recruitment may not have a major challenge or an issue. Okay, but you might have to do a lot of work starting now till you get a job, because what this pandemonium has done and what this pandemonium is doing and what this post effect of pandemonium is, the most competent people would be in a position to shine. In fact, this pandemic and pandemonium is showing the difference between the chalk and the cheese. I'm not here to speak about the pandemonium, but I'm giving you the context of the same. So it is clearly giving us the difference between the chalk and cheese. Mr. Pichemanikam, 1 minute, if you can unmute yourself. Or Mr. Francis, any one of you?
Yeah.
Just want to check. I just want to check. Can I go full English, or do you want me to chip in some Tamil also?
Yeah, no, English will be fine.
Absolutely fine. Right? Okay. Thank you. So, because I've done a lot of research in the last 3 months, I've written a book and published it. So, in the global context, because I'm also going to cover certain things in terms of higher education. What is going to be the prospects of higher education? Where are we heading towards? Because many of you sitting here, you can type in the chat box if you are looking to do higher education in US or any other country. So what's going to be the impact of it? So I would like to keep the presentation like this. Number one, interviews. How do I crack the code? What do I need to do? That's going to be the part A of this program. Part B of the program is going to be in terms of the pandemonium times, what are the kind of changes which you need to bring in order to be ready for a placement offer? B. C. I would like to have an interactive question answer session where you can probably ask whatever clarifications you have and questions you have, and I'll be happy to present them. So that's the way it's going to be. So keep your, whenever I'm asking you to type in the chat box, please type in the chat box. So when we come to the interview part of it, there are 4 elements which we need to look at. One is your preparation of the CV or resume. I would preferably call it as a resume for a fresher, and I would not call it as a CV. CV is for probably an experienced person, because there's a difference between a CV, resume, and biodata. Okay, anybody can type in the chat box for what is the difference between the CV, resume, and biodata in the chat box. I kept the chat box open. I'm going to, because let's make it a little interactive. Let's not be one-way traffic, or probably your TV is on and you're also watching the TV and you're also listening to me. Let it not be that. Let's be committed. Let's make the most of this 1.5 hours which is there. So what is the difference between CV, resume, and biodata? When we used to study, when I completed my engineering, all we knew was biodata. So everybody said, have you got your biodata ready? Have you got your biodata ready? Then a word called CV came into picture. Then something came into picture, which was a resume. So if you don't know, you can say, I don't know. What is the difference between a resume, a CV, and a biodata? I'm looking for interaction from the chat on the chat box. Okay. I'm not hearing anything. Right. Okay. Please explain it, sir. Okay, that's good. At least I don't know. That's very good. Very good. Deepak Nitin Gupta and Annavaram Krishna. Excellent. Okay, that's what I love. Because be comfortable. In fact, be comfortable with the 3 words. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. Now, even in an interview, you do not have to answer. You do not have to know everything. In fact, certain questions are asked by the interviewer purely to know whether you are honest enough or not. They know pretty well that you will not know the answer, but still they will ask you the question. Yes, Madi Reddy Girija, CSC 2017 batch, says resume is a 1-page summary of your work experience. Right. Okay. Now let me come to it. Biodata is your biographical data, which probably your parents will start uploading it once they start looking for your marriage, your wedding. So we don't require your biodata. Your biodata will have your father's name, mother's name, family, dependents, independence, where you were born, what time, all those stuff. Now that's not required for a job. Now, Afsar Imam is saying resume is 1 page or 2 page, but CV can be longer than exactly correct. Now, CV is something. In fact, before I go to the CV, I'll come to the resume. Resume is preferably supposed to be a 1-page document, an attractive 1-page document, which has your objective, your academic details, and more importantly, any work experience which you have had. If you have not had any work experience, it could have details about your project, about the skills you know. In fact, CV is that document which is an elaborate one. Resume is a document which is short snapshot of who you are, what are the skills you bring to the table, what's the value you bring to the organization. That's it. That's the difference between a resume and a biography. In fact, if you are somebody, if you want the interviewer to ask you questions on specific areas, like say, you are very good in artificial intelligence, you have done a special course or project in data analytics, and you feel you're pretty confident about answering questions on this particular area, you would highlight that in your resume. Okay? You would highlight that in your resume. You are very good in Java or Oracle. You would highlight, because those are the areas where, because see, an interviewer is not sitting with a question bank on his head. Your resume is going to actually trigger him to ask the next question. So an intelligent candidate would have a resume which would have everything, okay, everything which he wants to answer upon. Now a customer, that's the reason why I always say, do not copy paste your resume. I did that when I completed my engineering. My class topper was Srihari. I went to Srihari and asked, hey, give me your biodata. I took his biodata and copy pasted it. That's all. And 90% of the things which were there in the biodata, the first interview, I got the job. That's a different story altogether. Because one of the things which I do very well those days also used to communicate. Communication skills is one of the greatest skills which I had. So I cracked all the first 3 interviews which I attended, the first 3 interviews which I attended after landing up in Chennai. I was one of the first persons in my batch, although I was not great in academics, I got a job. Not trying to blow my own trumpet here. That was because of my communication skills. So in fact, I still remember one of them, I put in the resume, hobbies. It's not required to put hobbies. I'll come to it a little later. He had put in the hobbies, reading business news magazines and papers every day. So I immediately asked him, a chartered accountant. I asked him immediately the question. So what is the headlines of Economic Times today? Today I didn't read, sir. Then, honesty. Now understand what goes in, because you are an honest person or a dishonest person cannot be functioned or judged by an interviewer. The hiring manager is the person who hires you. Hiring manager is not going to look at how honest you are, but honesty in terms of congruence between what you document in the paper and what is the answer you're giving. As long as there's a congruence to that, then you are considered to be honest. If what you have mentioned, if you have said that I've done a project on AI, artificial intelligence. So what's the kind of project you did in artificial intelligence? Can I know more about your project? What are the outcomes? So that's how the questions are going to flow. So it's very important that you have a 1-page resume. And in the resume, it's not how many things you give, but it could be just 2 skills. You're great in Excel, put across, MS Excel, proficient, extremely proficient, highly proficient in MS Excel. Okay, just an example I'm giving you. So that's one. In a CV, normally what happens is an experienced candidate also would have a resume plus a CV. While a resume is a 1-page document, a CV is a document which probably goes for more than 2 or 3 pages. Even it can go up to 5 pages, where in a CV, you would mention about the projects, about the work experiences you have done, about the publications, about the patents, all those stuff will be captured in a CV. So for a fresher, a CV is not required. Unless otherwise, at this age itself, you have done some patenting, you have done certain project works which are bigger and which need to be elaborated upon. Now that is when you would put across your CV. So let's look at your one-page, beautiful, when I say beautiful, well-designed, which two things. One, which is mentioning your objective. What is your objective? And if there is a campus placement which is happening, and if there are 30 people coming into the interview from computer science and engineering department, and if all the 30 people have the same objective, then it becomes a problem. Okay. And even I would say, I would even put across mission statement of core values. What are the core values which you are following in your life? It could be reliability, it could be trust, it could be integrity, it could be dedication. So these are the highlights. So your name, your academics, your specialization areas, certain things which can prop up the hiring manager to ask you a question, and that's it. And if your project or intern work you've done, that intern and project work in one page. That's your great resume. And you move along, right? So now I'm going to start my presentation in terms of what do you do in the interview. Now, if you can really master the next 45 minutes, what I'm going to speak, which is not going to be extremely difficult, it's going to be absolutely simple. If you can start working from now, if you're a third-year student, it makes even more sense because you have ample time. Now, I can tell you, you would be in the right path. All you need to do is to master what we are going to speak in the next 45 minutes. So let me go to the presentation straight away. You can see the presentation? Right. So interviews, how do you crack the interview code? Now, perceptions matter. In the first 30 seconds, people make up to 11 decisions. First impressions matter. Law, looks, actions, and words. Make a note of it. Law. This is what is going to matter a lot. Your look, your actions, your words. Remember, the first 30 seconds, people make up to 11 decisions. First impressions matter. Matter a lot. Because I'm coming back here because I want to explain to you what I'm speaking. Now, you don't judge a book by its cover. But if the cover is not impressive, you don't even pick up the book. I repeat, you don't judge the book by its cover. But if the cover is not good, if the cover is not impressive, if it is not elegantly presented, you don't even pick up the book. So as a result of which, it does matter. In 30 seconds, nobody gets a job. But in 30 seconds, the hiring manager can decide, okay, I don't think this guy suits. I don't think he's the right fit. He can switch off. He can switch off his mind and the conversation will not have anywhere to go. So what's the most important thing is in the first 30 seconds, how do you enter into the interview room? The way you are dressed. I would always recommend people to wear a white color shirt. Okay. You want to have a tie, you can have a tie. And that's something grooming and etiquette, which is something which will be told by your placement officer. So carry a nice folder and walk with confidence. Shoulder held high, no slouched shoulders, shoulder head high. Don't walk too fast, not walk too slow. And walk with your head held high and eye contact, not on the floor, but on the people who are sitting in the panel. Now, these are very critical things, looks and actions, because people judge you based on your body language. Body language and facial expression makes a lot of difference. So what do? And you carry one folder, a simple folder, a nice folder, which will have your resume, which will have your relevant photocopies of your certificates. I'm talking about every damn thing. And then you go there, look into the eyes of people and extend your hand and have your handshake. And then you look and you sit in the chair with a confident pose. What is the confident pose? Don't sit in the edge of the chair like this. Instead, sit comfortably, absolutely comfortably, and sit there. And now, what happens? Your looks, actions. Then comes your words. The next is your words, now communication. So that's what is going on. Now we are entering into the interview. Okay, we are entering into the interview. Now, what do you need to do? But Sriram, looks means what? Should I have there is a difference between an unshaven face and a face with a beard. Okay, if it is female candidates, please ensure that your hair is well tied, because I'm giving you all these tips because I've seen several people do these mistakes in the interview. So this is extremely critical. Now comes the most crucial point in the interview. What are you going to do? Because invariably, there is going to be that one question, which is a make or mark question. And if you have an answer to this question, you have cracked the interview. If you have not answered this question properly, you have not cracked the interview. But before that, I would strongly recommend to all of you to have what is called as the elevator pitch. Before that, how do you prepare? Your preparation for the interview. You got three things. One is about you. It's all about you. Okay. About you, what is the preparation you're going to do? Number one. Number two, it's about the company for which you are attending the interview. It could be Infosys, it could be Wipro, it could be Cognizant Technologies, it could be Hindustan Unilever, it could be ITC. Even they would like to look for Tech Mahindra. It could be any of those companies. So you, the company, and the third is the world, which is basically the trends which are happening in the world. Okay, what are the trends which are happening? Which are the technologies which are coming as a breakthrough? So your preparation for the interview is going to be divided into three parts. You, the company which you represent, for which you're attending the interview, and the world. So now I will be showing to you what is the preparation you need to have to present yourself, what is that you need to know about the company, and what is that you need to know about the world. About the world, the best people to give you advice is the professors in your college. The professors of your college will tell you what are the trends, what is happening, your friends, you can study, you can go to Google, you can look at based on the job role and specification. Okay, you can look at what is happening in coding, what are the trends happening in coding, because today coding is going to be taught right from 6th standard onwards. Not sure how many of you know it or not. So coding is going to become a necessity today. Okay, even if you don't study history and geography, coding is becoming important. So as a result of which you need to understand. So now in this session, I'm going to take you through the you part of it. The you part of it. What is that you need to do? So let's get into it. Now, you need to have a 30 seconds to 2 minutes elevator pitch. What is the meaning of an elevator pitch? This elevator pitch itself came into picture because there was this gentleman who was an investment banker. And he wanted to meet Warren Buffett. Those of you who have not heard of Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett is one of the biggest investors in the world. One of the richest men in the world. And this guy always wanted to meet Warren Buffett. He tried to get an appointment, and this guy could never get an appointment with Warren Buffett. One of the days, early morning, around 7:30, this guy was walking into one of the largest trade centers, okay? And he was there because he had an appointment. And the building had 98 floors. 98 floors was the building size. And this guy was standing outside the elevator. And as he pressed the button, behind him, he found Warren Buffett standing. And both of them got into the elevator. This gentleman pulled out his business card, his visiting card, gave it to Warren Buffett. And in the time the elevator took to reach the 92nd floor, this guy presented himself with such a powerful message, convinced the man opposite to him, Warren Buffett, that he is the guy whom he needs to trust and get his portfolio managed. And he managed to present himself with confidence, so much so that Warren Buffett gave him an appointment on the same evening. From then on, this whole thing called as an elevator pitch came into picture. Now, not everybody prepares this, but if you have an elevator pitch of yourself, okay, even after your experience, even you've gone through 3 years of experience in a company, you can still prepare an elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is, my name is JVC Sriram. I'm a corporate training consultant, and I have helped people speak like Barack Obama and Narendra Modi. I give people abundance of confidence. I've trained close to around 10,000 chartered accountants, more than 100,000 people, 1 lakh people in India, Kenya, blah, 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 blah. That's all. Outcome. You talk about outcomes. And now this is called as an elevator pitch. Now you're not going to use the elevator pitch in the interview, but you are going to prepare the elevator pitch, which will talk about you, your achievements, your strengths, what are the outcomes that you bring to the company. All this you will bring in the elevator pitch. You will keep the elevator pitch inside yourself. And when do you use yourself? When do you use the elevator pitch? I'll tell you when you use your elevator pitch, because this is critical. This preparation, if you do, now you are moving closer to the appointment letter. If you do not make this particular move, you are stepping away from the appointment letter. So what are the next step you need to do? The next step you need to do is to wait for that one question. Which is the question? I'm back to the presentation now. The most powerful question is, tell me about yourself. This is the most powerful question asked in every interview. Every interviewer asks this question, tell me about yourself. And immediately what this guy does is, my name is Selva Kumar, and I did my computer engineering final year at Kalasiligam College of Engineering. My father is working in government as a RTO officer, and my mother is an housewife. My house is located in Rajapalayam, and I did my computer engineering, and I want to have a job because I know I like computers a lot. I worked with computers, and I know to write software programs, and programming is something which comes naturally to me. And I thought that this is the right opportunity, and your company is a great company. I've heard great things about your company, so I want to work in your company, sir. Thank you very much. Now, you have not done yourself any favor. This is where 90% of people make a mistake. The hiring manager is asking, which means you're all there and you understood. Exactly. So he is not bothered about your marks. He is not bothered about what all things you know, how much you know. No. Interview is not some know, how much you know. No. Interview is not something to know what all you know, how much you know. No. Interview is a place where to know how well you are able to present what you know. Are you able to understand? If you say data analytics is the strength of mine as far as knowledge is concerned, now how well you are able to answer, he will give you a problem. He will give you a problem statement. As simple as that. When do you think, COVID-19, the data says 73,000 is the cases today. 76,000 is the cases today. Can you do an analysis to show when we are going to peak? Numbers are going to peak based on the data we have from United States of America, United Kingdom, Russia, Spain. Which methodology or model you will use, that's all you ask. And your answer, because understand, answering for an examination is different, answering in an interview is different. In an examination, you've got to give a perfect answer. In an interview, you've got to show the interviewer that you are taking the right approach. And you have to justify why are you taking that particular approach. That's all. So knowledge. He is not bothered about what all subjects you know. I'm topper in circuit theory. What will I do with that? I'm number one in digital integrated circuits, DIC. I don't know if those subjects exist or not. No, I'm not bothered about that. I am bothered about your knowledge, what outcome it will bring. I have developed 5 projects in my 4-year academic studies using Java code. Now, okay, right? Because I have seen one guy, we were just in one of the training programs. I'm not only training in interview code. Interview code is something which I help people. I work with large corporates and the 2 at the senior level. My college back, I thought I'll come back and give something to the college. That's the reason why I'm sharing with you. Few colleges actually train 3 or 4 times in a year. I train people on interviewing skills. There was this guy who came. I asked him. So he was applying for social media. You all know social media, right? Social media marketing analyst position. So I asked him, tell me about yourself. He says, my name is Mithun Reddy, sir. I have been working on social media for the last 3 or 4 years. And a lot. I've worked on Facebook, I've worked on LinkedIn, I've also worked on Instagram, and I've created a lot of posts. And I'm looking to get married in the next 2 months. I thought I should get a good job. And the company your company is located just half a kilometer from my house. And I came to know that you have a vacancy for a social media analyst position. So because I'm also interested in social media, so I thought I should apply for this position and I should get the job. No, pathetic! God! Instead, my name is Mithun Reddy. I have been working on social media for the last 4 years. And I've got a grip across platform, which is basically YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And for one of my friends who is running a startup company, I developed his Facebook campaign, and through that, he had 50% new customers signing up for that. I had ran an Instagram promotion for a catering company, which was a startup again, and they were able to post a turnover of 10 lakhs in the first 3 months. And I helped a recruitment agency to run a campaign to get 55 positions filled in a span of 15 days through a LinkedIn campaign. With these skills which I've got, I would like to contribute to an organization of your kind, which is looking to attract more customers through Facebook and social media campaigns. So I think I would be the right candidate to help you get the right kind of customers. And I'm 100% sanguine that my work would help the company to get those customers. Now, do you see the difference between the first one and the second one? If you see a difference, type in the chat box, yes. Do you see a difference between the first one and the second one? In the first one, I said, I like Facebook, I like social media, I've been working on it, and I've been working on these aspects for a long time, and now blah, 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 and now you're half a kilometer located from my house, and so I would like to take up a job. Here, I'm saying, oh, this is what, so I have the knowledge of working on Facebook, and this has resulted in an outcome of this. I now have the knowledge in this thing, data analytics. This is the outcome which you have brought through this. Okay. Now, if I can do these things, an outcome, the knowledge outcome, that's what you're correct. So but Sriram, what knowledge should I have? That is left to you. Okay, that is left to you. I didn't know much about computers when I graduated. But when I went for the interview, I said only one thing. I know how to sell. And I would like to sell solutions and not products. Okay. I said, okay, you love to sell? Yeah, I love to sell. Excuse me, somebody is on. Please unmute yourself. So that is all required. What is required is basically, what is the outcome you can bring? I can write C program for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these functions. I have helped my friend develop an app for his poultry. He is running a poultry store, and I have helped him develop an app where customers can able to. I'm just giving an example. Now, but Sriram, an app for a poultry store and a job at Tech Mahindra, is there a connection? I'm coming to that. If you are not, people are not looking at, if a fresher has done something of this kind, it has a value addition. It has a value addition. So I would strongly urge you to look at these parameters. What are the knowledge you have and outcome? Knowledge you have, outcome. What is the knowledge? I leave it to your decision. I have knowledge in artificial intelligence. With that knowledge, what will be the benefit to the company? I have a knowledge about machine learning. With that, what is the outcome to the company? What does it bring to the company? In fact, at this stage, this is at a more experienced stage, people immediately start looking at how much cost you can reduce through automation, innovation. Now, in the fresher stage, they will not even ask you that. Okay. In the fresher stage, they are not even looking at that. They are looking at only, are you coachable and teachable? Can you be trained? That's all. Okay. So now coming to it, knowledge I explained to you. Next is skills. What are the skills you have? Hands-on experience. Hands-on experience. Next. What are all the applications you have worked hands-on? Skills. Sriram, I don't have much skills. No, okay, communication skills. Either soft skills or hard skills. Because there are two types of skills. One is called, I'll type in the chat box, so that it becomes easier for every one of you. Soft skills is one. Hard skills is the other. What is soft skill? What is hard skill? Is like communication skills, interpersonal skills, those things. Hard skills is Excel, programming skills, hardware skills. So whichever is related to your function, your department, becomes hard skill. That is your soft skills. I hope you got what I'm saying. So you have to look at whether you are great in soft skills or hard skills. Like I have presented one paper in MEPCO strength in 93. I didn't even know much about it. It was about ISO. I did computer engineering, but we presented the paper in ISO. And in my interview, to tell the interviewer, I told them that I have presented a paper in MEPCO strength about ISO, and I got the first prize award in an inter-college competition conducted by MEPCO strength engineering college. Now, that was enough to convince my interviewer that I have good communication skills, which is essential for sales and marketing. Now, you understand? Excel skills, because, but Sriram, I don't have these skills. Then work on it. Learn Excel. Learn a little bit about data analytics, because that's where the future is moving towards. Future is moving towards data analytics, robotics, artificial intelligence. These are the places where the whole industry is moving. We are talking about people in most of the companies. Customer service, chat box is a robot. It's a bot which is working. It's not an individual. So designing those things are very simple. Apps are becoming the norm of the day. So as a result of which you need to work on those aspects. You need to develop skills on those aspects. So what is the knowledge? What is the skill? Next is, what is the attitude? What is the attitude you bring to the table? Like, I will tell you, if you have done any volunteering as a student, you have participated in social service campaigns, right? If you have participated, if you have captained the hockey team or the cricket team or a chess player, all this, because sports reveals character. Sports, social activities, sports, I'm typing it. Social activities reveal characters. So when you say, I have led the Kalasalingam care to in the inter-college tournament, cricket tournament, and I was the captain, and we managed to either win or you have to run up, whatever it is. So what is happening? You have got leadership skills. Because you have to lead a cricket team, you need to have that. Or you participated on Swachh Bharat mission of cleaning, social contribution. And if you're a leader, it becomes even better. You are a part of NSS camp. You organized an education tour. Oh, that's it. Even I can tell you, my dear friend, those of you who are in third year, please listen to me carefully. Today in my batch, the people who are in leadership positions are those people who took leadership work when they were young in the college. I can tell you, even today it is we people who organize the get-together. When Silver Jubilee get-together had to happen, it was a few of us. We had a Silver Jubilee in 2018 in your university. We came and felicitated all the professors and various people of our batch. No, people who organized. And they are the ones in high position now. Because if you have displayed leadership during your college times, during your university times, it shows that you have that in your DNA. You have that in your character. And which is what people are looking at. Because to be a leader, you have to be listen well. To be a leader, you have to have strategy. You have to coordinate. So those things you have to, so attitude. So what happens? You tell me about yourself. Answer should be on these areas. Knowledge. What is the knowledge you have? Which is the subject which is your favorite? And what is the outcome company can expect? What is the skill? And what is the outcome they can expect? What is the attitude? Through your leadership, through your, which is basically through sports, social activities, volunteering activities. Okay. Probably you organize seminar, you participated in seminar, you are the master of ceremony, you compare an annual day event, all this comes in attitude, which you have to tell about yourself. And then comes the experience. But Sriram, I don't have experience, I'm a fresher, no problem. Project. That's why I always say project is an important work. You need to do some good projects. Okay. More than one project. In fact, it's not these days companies more than looking at the mark, they're looking at what are the kind of project you have. Even I suggest that finally your students get into LinkedIn right away. Open a LinkedIn account. And in the LinkedIn account, if you don't have, projects, then you can't cook up. For third year, you can start doing it. Start working on the projects. Start making 2 or 3 projects. If you have done internship, that becomes an experience. You understand what is an internship? Internship is a small 3 months or 6 months. You work as a probationary kind of stuff, intern in a particular organization, and you learn. It could be even 2 months. It could be even 1 month internship. Project work. You do all these things. In fact, my brother is from IIT Chennai. He's an elder brother of mine. And how did he get a job? He completed his engineering and for 3 months, yeah. Between January, February, March, I'm talking about the 1980s, he worked as an intern in the university in IIT Tech Mechanical. And because he did that, he had offers from almost every company, Voltas, Larsen and Toubro, Blue Star, all of them offered him a job. And he took one of the companies. Why I'm saying is internship is important. Project is important. So experience. So you're telling me about yourself. So when you talk about a skill or an attitude, you say, we organized, I was the leader for organizing a Swachh Bharat campaign in Batra. And we went and did that. So immediately they will ask, how did you do it? What are the challenges you faced? How many people were there in the team? So this is where the first one comes. Facts tell, but stories sell. They will ask you to tell the story. They will ask you to tell that experience. And that's where we do. And being specific is terrific. Razor sharp, specific is terrific. So that is where you need to go about as far as tell me about yourself is concerned. Next, so what do you need to prepare? For the interview, what all things you need to prepare? Now coming to it. So I'm going to quickly run through this. Number 1 is your strengths and weakness. Know your strengths and weakness. What are your strengths? You must have some strength. In fact, it is important for each one of you to take an inventory of your strength. Identify one core strength of yours. Can anybody of you type down what is your strength? Which can help me to then give you an illustration or an example. What is your strength? When I passed out of my college, my only strength was communication skills. And that was enough for me. In fact, I used to tell all my batchmates at that point in time, even when I was 21 years old, I used to tell my friends, hey, write down one skill. Find out one strength of yours. One strength of yours. What is that one strength? What is your strength? Type, some of you. Don't bother. Right answer or wrong answer. There is no examination here. You're going to get a grade. Mission learning and team leading. Beautiful. Annavaram Krishna. That's all. Now, that's it. So what happens is companies are going to ask you about mission learning. Krishna, next thing what will happen is they will ask you, what do you know about mission learning? What have you done with your mission learning? Analytical thinking. Okay, leadership. The analytical thinking, they will immediately ask you, where have you used your analytical thinking and what was the benefit and outcome of it? Kalva Sai Mohit, I'm giving you an example. Or they will give you immediately a problem statement and ask you to use your analytic thinking and find a solution. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Because those of you who are typing it, it's very important. Annavaram Krishna, when you say mission learning and team leading, they will immediately ask you, when did you lead people? Where did you lead people? What were the outcomes? What are the benefits? So, Sridhar Babu, when you say leadership, immediately people will ask you, have you taken leadership positions in your college days? Where did you take the leadership position? Okay. Where did you take the leadership position? What was the use of those leadership positions? Okay, Annavaram Krishna, as a student vice president of computer science and engineering. Next question they will ask you. Science, because I'm just simulating an interview position here. Next question they might ask you, what is the biggest challenge that you faced as a vice president of computer science and engineering? What were the problems you solved as a student vice president of computer science and engineering? I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Okay, so now that's how you address this to a strengths part of it. Now the next part of it is weakness. Now what is your weakness? Anyone of you mention your weakness? Oh, may be a problem. Oh, mention. I will tell you a solution for it. In fact, a lot of people have a problem in terms of how do I cover up my weakness. People will ask you, what is your weakness? Some interviewers will ask you, what is your weakness? Okay. So some of you are inhibited. No problem. No problem. In fact, when I joined, when I attended the interview, they asked me, introverted. Okay, very good. Bhatti Mohammed Azam, introverted. That's your weakness. Okay. Now, you need to always add, what are the weaknesses of mine which I have understood as being an introvert? And now, I'm working towards overcoming this weakness by socializing, talking to strangers. So, you understand? This is my weakness and this is what I'm doing to overcome this weakness. See, when you do these things, potentially you think you will get a 3 lakhs job. You would end up getting a 5 lakh job, 5 lakh job. I'm talking about. Or you potentially thought you'll get a 1.5 lakh job. Okay. Another person is saying, unable to stick to a career path. Now, this is something you should not be told in the interview. Don't be too honest in an interview. Okay. You don't have to be honest in an interview of telling this weakness. Naka Pranit Reddy, right? In fact, good that you mentioned this particular point. I would want you not to say this because people are looking for a weakness which is not affecting their operations. Anger, okay. Koduru Sridhar Babu, looks like many of the names if I see, most of them are from Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. Okay. Sridhar Babu, because I'm from Hyderabad. Anger. Now, you would immediately say, how are you overcoming anger? These days when I'm getting angry, I just close my eyes, take a deep breath and start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or even I'm getting angry, I'm just walking out of the place and standing there for a few minutes. Or I'm meditating. Very good. Stick to one thing for a longer time. Charla Mahesh, this is a weakness you should not mention. Because in a corporate world, you have to stick for the same thing for the rest of your life. Okay, Ravi Teja, Yamaswani, overthinking. Okay. Overthinking has been a problem for me, as a result of which has been a weakness of mine. And I am trying to overcome this weakness by plunging into action instead of thinking in a long run. Even you can give if I were you, I'll give you an example also. Even to prepare this resume, I was thinking what I should add, what I should add. I kept on postponing it. Now one day I decided this is my resume, and I got into doing more. See, understand the antidote of thinking is doing. Too much thinkers or not doers. So, how do I overcome the overthinking? By getting into doing. So, this is how I'm just giving you an example. This is how you approach an interview. You prepare for an interview. So, now coming to next. Your goals. Now, people will ask you, what is your goal? You should not be honest here. Please listen. Don't immediately say, my goal is to start my own business in the next 3 years. Nobody will give you a job. The only answer you should have as a goal is, if you're appearing for Infosys interview, you should say, my short-term goal is in the next 3 years to be a team leader in Infosys. And my long-term goal in the next 12 years, I would like to be the head of the department and lead a team of 500 people in Infosys. And it's my dream to work and retire in a company like Infosys. Bang! Okay. If you don't want to be so much, thing, you can say, I would like to be, my goal is in the next 5 years to be a manager in a large IT company. You can be little honest, because the first one was really, really not honest, I can tell. But do not say, I want to go abroad and work. Yeah, that's what I told them. Okay, so coming to the next one, your goals. Next is your hobbies. Now, do not mention browsing, surfing net as my hobby. Do not mention cooking as my hobby. So your hobby must be something called a transferable skill. Hobby cannot be watching cricket. Hobby can be analyzing cricket. Hobby can be writing blogs. Hobby cannot be watching movies, because people make this mistake. By you watching movies, what is the benefit which the company will get? Nothing will get. There is something called transferable skills. My hobby is playing chess. Damn. Now, understand, let me tell you, even if you pay 1 lakh, nobody will teach you what I'm teaching you right now. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet. At length, nobody will go into it and tell you exactly what you should mention for each and everything. It is all up to you to make use of it. Unmute yourself. Darshini, please unmute yourself. Yeah, thank you. So, hobby, you cannot say certain things as your hobby. My hobby is what can be transferred. Outcome for the company. Outcome for the company. Outcome for the company. Now that will be the ideal preparation as far as hobby is concerned. Don't say surfing net, browsing net, those things. No. Writing blog. Playing cricket. Analyzing cricket results by writing a blog, which means you are an analyst. Developing new software for small things, hobby. Your ambition, goal and ambition are almost the same for you guys, so you can use the same thing. Your attitudes and outlook. What are your attitudes? That is another thing which they will be looking at. So what are your attitude? I'm a person who has got a positive attitude. I look at things in a positive perspective. I am a guy with a possibility thinking attitude where I want to make things happen. So these are the attitudes we have. Don't say my attitude is I am hardworking. Everybody says hardworking. Who on earth will say I'm not a hard worker? Tell me. Only a very smart guy will say I'm not a hard worker, I'm a smart worker. And then immediately in the interview will ask you, tell me what is the difference between hard work and smart work? No, you will not have an answer. So you should know exactly the answers to that. Next, your performance, academic performance. You were college first, school first, but how does it matter? Does it really matter? Now, when you have set a goal of being the number one and you became the number one, which means you are a result-oriented person. Now, that is what you need to put in. Not everybody needs to also looking at result orientation. I'm typing in the chat box so that you can Make a note of it. Result orientation. When you say, I was number one in academics in 10th standard, in 12th standard, in intermediate, second year, and I'm a college topper in my academics, what you mean to say is that you are a result oriented person. But Sridhar, not everybody can be, no, not everybody can be. If you are, you mention that. Now comes your family. If they ask you a question about your family, you need to mention. And more importantly, if your family has taught some values, if your family, if your parents, if your dad is in a senior position, when they ask you about your family, you can say, or you want to say something about your family, but you don't know where to say, then you can say, all my attitudes and values have been developed through my family and my upbringing. You can say that, no problem at all. And then why you? That is a tough question. Why you is overall, through my knowledge, through my skill, through my experiences, through my attitude, through my upbringing, I bring all these outcomes to the company. That is what is required. I bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outcomes. Great. You have cracked the interview code. So this is what you need to know about you. The next is, what is your value addition? Same question. Why you? What is the value addition? Everything is same. Next is company. What all you should know about the company. If you are going for an interview, please know about the company, because this is also, they will decide to give you a job or not based on your answer to this question. They will ask you a question. What do you know about our company? So when was it founded? About us. So if you go to the website of that particular company, you will get all these things. So take a snapshot of it. If you want to take a screenshot of this. When was it founded? About us, you can say, Infosys was founded in so and so year. It was, you study about us, a little bit about who is the founder, Narayan Murthy, Nandan Nilekani, who are the present board of directors, listed or unlisted company, listed in National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. Okay, these three, I don't know which are major areas of operation, financial, and that too in North America. Your market leaders. Where is the headquarters? Headquarters is in Bangalore. Various locations. Look at the various locations. What was the turnover last year? What was the profit last year? And up to an extent the financials. And who are the major clients? Now, when you say all these things, what do you know about our company? I've studied a little bit about your company, because before you go to the interview, you have to do a research. I did go to the website and I saw that your company was founded in so and so year. Infosys was founded in so and so year, and the founders were Mr. Narayan Murthy along with blah 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 blah. And the present directors of the company are so and so. And the company is located in Bangalore and various other cities such as Mysore, Hyderabad, so on and so forth. Okay. Then next you say the company has been listed in Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, and NASDAQ in USA. The share price is so and so, and your major operations are in North America, particularly in the banking and financial sector. And this is what I know. Is there anything else I should know about your company? Now, the guy says, in fact, research says 60% of people who get recruited because they have a perfect answer for what do you know about a company. Because as much as I, as a manager, want to know about you, I want to know whether you are serious enough to know about me. It cannot be a one-way traffic. It cannot be a one-way traffic. As much as I want to know about you, I would like to know how much you know about me. Interview is like a dating. It's as simple as a dating. The boy has to know about the girl has to know about the boy. It can't be one-way traffic. So this is what it is as far as the thing is concerned. Sorry. About the general awareness. Now, about the general awareness is that what are the latest trends in technology? What is happening? How is COVID going to affect that particular industry? What all things are going to happen? So those things you can actually look at and learn those things. So you have to do a paperwork. You have to know what are the latest technology. Though to take the latest technology, big time technology is now machine learning, the better it is. Because as a computer science and engineer, you should know about the technological trends, how trends move. Okay, when you have all these things, you're all set for the interview. Now, I'll come to another part. Okay, wait for a minute. I will have to should help you. Okay. Now, why I wanted to show this to you is because which are all the places where you might immediately get a job? Where are the stress sectors which are going to do very well? Which are the companies? So you can do a lot of study because if there's a lot of company which are providing services, an IT company providing services to these sectors, they may not be, because you must be knowing some of the companies are retrenching 10%, 20% of their employees. 4 crore people in America have lost their jobs. So I'm asking you to be smart enough today. Okay. Now, which are all the companies which are servicing stressed means sectors which have got affected, right? Which have got affected. And sectors which are booming means sectors which are doing well. So I'll come to that. Now, stress sectors are jobs, employment itself isn't a problem. Hospitality, whichever IT company is providing services to hotels and resorts having a problem. Aviation, so companies like Saint Infotech, which is my client, is into a problem. Event management is into a problem. Automobile sector will take a lot of time. Jobs in Gulf is not going to be available immediately. Oil and gas is into a major problem. In fact, people who are coming out of instrumentation and control engineering will have a difficulty because oil and gas is a big job provider for this thing. Luxury retail is a problem. Malls and cinemas are a challenge. Higher education. Now I want to tell you about my book. I have done research with various people in America. One of the chapters in the book is about the higher education, the dream. In fact, I'll show it to you also, the dream of the youth. 1 second. It's only one chapter. You know, out of the 15 chapters, it is one of those chapters. You can see here, dreams of the new generation, effect of pandemic on higher education. So what is happening is that in US, particularly for the PG, online courses are being offered, but that may not be of a great value. So this E21, many of them may not be able to go there strictly, and you don't need to invest money. Fortunately, for the batch of people who are doing their third year now, which means you will graduate by 2022, there should not be any problem at all. You can start your preparation right away, because I see many of you from Andhra Pradesh, and in Vijayawada, every house there is one person who is there in America. Okay, we've been funding entire American population. So, but 2021, by the third or the fourth quarter only, things will get better. So as far as you are concerned, but more importantly, I would want you to just give you a warning. Do not join tier 3 and tier 4 universities. Many of them may be closing down in America. If things don't get normal, I'm not talking about bigger universities like, Villanova, like that of, Clyde and all those stuff, those are all no problem at all. Tier 3 and tier 4, because they don't have funds, as a result of which they will have difficulty. So just be aware of this particular thing when you want to go, if you want to go abroad. But for your batch, it will not be affected. If you want to start preparing for GRE, you can prepare for GRE. You can go abroad. Particularly 2022 passouts, there should not be any issue. 2021 passouts, be careful about which university you are going. That's one only thing. And by the time you go, it will be 2021 end or 2022 beginning, so there should not be major issue. Which are the sectors which are moving up? Digital products. So anything, if you are a computer engineer now, great. Because everything, I think about it, I'm doing my entire program. Per day, I'm doing 3 workshops through digital. So digital, so IT, great. You're on the right path. Insurance products. Companies which do for insurance, which means banking, financial services, insurance, companies like TCS and Infosys will be doing well. Agriculture and agrochemical, those of them who develop software for agriculture and agrochemical, they'll be doing very well. Pharma, they'll be doing very well. Data science, this is the field. In fact, by chance, if you like data sciences, any one of you like data sciences, please type in the chat box DS. Just type DS. So DS or ML, machine learning, ML, and DS, data sciences, DS, okay? If you are for data sciences, I'm telling you, you even take up a course. Do some, because data science, next 10 years, there is going to be humongous job opportunities for data sciences. You will be the much needed person as far as the market is concerned. So don't worry if you are somebody who is getting into data sciences. That's where the future is. But you need to know, you need to develop, you need to work, and if you do all those things, you will be in a position to do a fantastic job as far as data science is concerned. Then IT and ITES, information technology is not greatly affected. Those companies which are doing, like Wipro does a lot for the retail. So if you see here before, you would see that retail has been affected. And Wipro does a lot of projects for luxury retail. As a result of which, there are some problems. And gaming companies. Anybody wants gaming? You'd like to get into gaming? Type in the chat box gaming. Gaming devices, gaming apps, online gaming. So type. So that is where the whole thing looks like. So these are the sectors which are going up. These are the sectors. Well, 1 minute. So now, I just want to give you an information. Okay. So this is where we are. So some of you, I think, joined a little late. Looks, actions, and words. How you look, how you act, how you words are very important. The 3 circles. You, your company, the world. I've told you exactly what you need to do in each segment. 30 seconds to 2 minutes, elevator pitch. Prepare yourself to tell me about yourself. So outcomes, knowledge, skill, attitude, everything. Then about you. You need to know about you, the various things. So this is about you, and you need to master this particular area. Then about your company. About the company, these are the things which you should know to answer. About the general awareness, and now you're all set. I would also like to inform you at this point of time that after 3 months, I've written a book called No Reference Point, which is the ultimate handbook to succeed amidst the pandemonium caused by COVID-19 and beyond. And this book is all about how, as individuals, we can take care of ourselves, what businesses are going to succeed, what businesses are going to take time, what is the general outlook. This book is available on Amazon Prime. You can buy the book. I can give you my number. If you're buying from Amazon, you would get a coupon card for you, and it will be available on the Kindle and ebook in the next few days for a lesser cost. So if you are using Kindle or this thing, you can use it. Otherwise, you can buy this book, or you can buy 5 of you, 6 of you can buy one book and you can read. One of you can read it. It will be an interesting book. This is what BVS Lakshman has got to say. Several people have said the COVID-19 pandemic has caused the most significant disruption to humanity in every aspect, including sports. The research based and case studies of GVC Sridham are awesome. The anecdotes are engaging, and the path to action is crystal clear. You must read book to succeed in this pandemic. So, 1 minute. I'll stop presenting now. You can WhatsApp me on my number if you want more details, or if you want to buy at a discounted price, I will let you know. Now, I can take question and answers. Mr. Piche Manikam, if anybody has any questions, I think we are at 11:47, 11:50. So
yes,
another few minutes, I can take some questions if they have.
Yes, sir. Students, if anybody is having any doubts, you may ask me. Sir has also answered the questions.
Looks like close to 185 people were there in the seminar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You said 95 will be there.
Yes, sir. 185 is there, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my number on WhatsApp. Okay, my name is, my email ID also I'm giving you.
Yes, sir.
sriramjvc@gmail.com. If you have any query, you can ask me here. And my website is www.jvcsriram.com. Okay, yeah. You can type in the chat box or you can ask yourself. PPT, learn first, teach, some, give important Gmail. Sai Pravina, send it please to me. What is it she's asking? Pichamanikam sir, என்ன கேக்குறாங்க அவங்க?
Sir, PPT
Sai Pravinika.
full list. Sai Pravina. Hello. PPT learn list full teach same give the importance Gmail. Sai Pravina. Sir, they will ask. I think that they will ask some PPT, sir. Your PPT, I think that's.
Okay, in the PPT,
yes, sir.
okay. Now, உங்களுக்கு அனுப்புறேன் நீங்க நான் ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க.
Yes, sir, definitely. Sir.
You can share that. Yeah. You can share the PPT. I'll share it with you in WhatsApp itself.
Definitely, sir. Students, any doubts?
So, any questions you have? Go ahead, Pichamanikam.
Okay, sir. Students, anybody has any doubts? Okay, please ask me.
Any questions?
Any doubts regarding that? Na, you may ask me. Sir will give the idea. Like any doubts regarding the facing an interviews or already finally students are attending some interviews. So you may have some doubts now. Definitely you will ask. Sir will help you. Sir, one question came from sir.
Yeah, 1 second.
From the chat box, sir.
1 minute. I'm not able to see you. Yeah.
How to keep
it crisp and not too long and too short when giving answers? That's a very good question, Monica C. Very good question. That preparation only helps. You have to prepare. That works. You need to prepare yourself for the interview. You need to practice it, and that is when you can be crisp and short. So writing it down, preparing, and practice. The 3 P's to succeed are practice, and practice. The more you practice, the better you become. That's a simple thing which I can tell you. Yes. Next.
Okay. Any other questions from the student side?
What do you have to do to prefer more? Is it technical knowledge or see? First is technical knowledge. I would tell you communication skills is very important. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Communication skills is not important. I would say communication skills is very critical and important. But without having the technical knowledge as a fresher, it will become very difficult. So you have to have both technical knowledge and communication skills. Okay. But first, work on your core area. If you say data analytics, know about it. And then communication skills is also equally important. In fact, I can tell you, chartered accountants, next week onwards, I'm going to do a program for around 300 people, a 4-day program. They're all chartered accountants, CFA, CPA, their entry-level position job itself is around 12 to 15 lakhs per annum. Okay, minimum I'm talking about. And they're all doing a course, we're paying 10,000 rupees only to develop. They're all technically very good, but communication problem. So as a result of this, they're coming to people like me. So you have to work on both the aspects. Okay. But first technical knowledge and then communication skills. Both. It is not anytime this or that. It is this and that. Both.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from the student sides? They ask me. Be frank. Any difficulties you are facing in the interview, just you may ask. Sir, another one question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if I have the
Praveen, you have to say why. The gap was there. Okay. There should be a legitimate reason for why the gap is there. You can be honest. If it was a health issue, or there was a family issue, or any of the issues, or you had whatever gap. Or see, I'll tell you an example. We have somebody. I know of somebody by the name Ashutosh Patel. And Ashutosh was a topper. He joined in chemical engineering in Mumbai. He's from Maharashtra. And 2 years into chemical engineering, he realized that he was not at all liking chemical engineering. But his whole passion was agriculture. So he discontinued and went and joined BSc Agriculture. Now, this gap he had been able to forthrightly tell companies that, look, I did do chemical engineering for 2 years, but I realized that the same. Any other question, please?
Any other questions, student side? Sir is also waiting. Any other questions, ma, from the student side?
Is it fine to do job and MTech at the same time? See, if you want to get into Sajja Vivek Kumar, MTech is for those people who want to get into education. You want to get into academics, professor, doctorate, those kind of stuff, you can do that, not a problem at all. Okay. If you're just looking at a career and you want to look at, joining a corporate organization, then MTech is not the thing. MTech is for people who want to go for academic line. Sorry.
Okay, students, any other questions?
You have another program at 12 o'clock, no?
No, sir. No, sir, up to 12 only, sir. We have planned for 10:30 to 12. Any other questions,
Okay,
students?
right. If you want to make it big in company, is a master's degree. So that is MBA. So Monica Sri Velamapati, it's MBA. Why people do MBA after the UG? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Dunga Ashavardhan, because if you want to become a managerial position, MBA is mandatory. So what ideally you do is you do your BE, instead of going and joining MBA immediately, take up a job, work experience, and after 1 or 2 years, go and do your MBA. This is route number A. Route B, which you got, is complete your BE, and if you're very good in English and mathematics, start writing CAT or various examinations this year itself, and join MBA in a very good institution. Only if you can get a good, because getting an MBA in a good institution is very difficult. So do your MBA, and then you get into techno commercial position or techno functional position, techno marketing position. Because at the end of the day, don't mistake me for what I'm saying, MBA is required if you want to get into leadership or management positions. That is a mandatory. Okay. BE will give you a technical role, BTech will give you a technical role, MBA will give you a managerial and senior management role. Have I answered your question, both of you, Monica and Tunga Arshavardhan? There's a lot of universities, a lot of good universities which are available other than IIM, because IIM is difficult to get. XLRI is a good institution. So that is one. XLRI, Symbiosis, ISB, ITM, Institute of Technology and Management. These are the next level institutions. Then you have National Institute of Technology. All the NITs have MBA. Then you have next level of institutions like Manipal University and those kind of stuff. So you have at various levels. So what you can do is every year the lot of surveys will be conducted. Look at those surveys and look at what are the top 25 or 30 universities, and you can join. See, IIM not everybody can crack. Let us understand that. But IIM Kozhikode, IIM Shillong, that can be probably cracked. XLRI not everybody can crack. But XIM, Xavier Institute of Management, probably it can be cracked. So look at around 200 to 300 now top and nice institutions, and you can look into those things. Not a problem at all. So some of them I name now. Okay, right.
Okay, students, any other questions?
So thank you.
Any other questions from the student side?
I feel that's it, Mr. Pichai.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, I think it's 11:58.
Okay.
So, my pleasure.
Okay. Sir.
Mr. Sriram, Francis here.
Yeah, Mr. Francis, yeah.
Very nice presentation, very kind of you. You have spent a lot of time for us on a holiday. You've been so busy, I was told by your good old friend, Dr. Chelatamilan. And right now we are, and actually I want to congratulate on the textbook recent publication. Many congratulations from Department of CSE and Correct. And actually we have started a drive long back to reach out to our alumni. So in this process, I thank you for giving it back to us, to our students. And we will also appeal to you from Department of CSE to help us reach more alumni like you, so that we can have interactions, and we are looking forward for many collaborations as well. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. Thank you, Mr. Pichai. Thank you, all the students. All the very best. Stay safe and do very well. It's my pleasure to always come back to my alma mater, which is Kallasari
Very
University.
kind of you. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'll
sir.
make a leave
Thank
now.
you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Students, all of you fill your feedback form already available in the chat box for getting the e-certificate. Okay, students, don't forget to fill this form. Now that is after filling this form, you just take down this form. After filling only, we just provide this in the e-certificate. So all of them are requested to fill this form, feedback form. Thank you. Thank you, students. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you.